Hello everyone, welcome to STEM with Chantel.
I'm Chantel, and this is Ty.
My name is Joe Messmer. I'm the president of Summit Fire Apparatus here in Edgewood, Kentucky. We build fire trucks as our predominant business. We do other work, custom fabrication work, but fire trucks are the driving product that we do. The process for that is usually we'll get contacted by a fire department, or we could just get a specification from a fire department. They've already done their preliminary work on what they want. But if we're going to sit down with them, we sit down with them, and basically we start with a clean sheet of paper. We don't produce products, so to speak, particular models. We find out what they want, and we truly custom build each and every feature that the fire department wants. After we get it on paper what they want, and maybe into a specification, written word, then we'll do drawings such as these, which will give details of the truck that they're wanting to buy. And then we work out those details, and it's kind of can be a long and arduous process because decisions and numbers of guys have got to make the decision, that type of thing. Most trucks are built by committee. And in some cases that's good, in some cases it's bad, but it's what we do, so we live with it. After the truck is designed, we get the proposal of what they're looking for, and then of course there's pricing back and forth. And then if we're successful in getting the bid, if it goes to bid, not all trucks go to bid. Ohio, for instance, has a system where they do state contract. If you're on state contract and you've got your price there, you can work that price to be the price for the product they're wanting to buy. Kentucky, on the other hand, does do bidding because they follow what is known as the Model Procurement Program. And everything is bid out, so you put a price in for the product, and then if you're successful, then the next phase is contract. Then we do an official set of drawings, working all the minute details out. And then after that is done, then chassis are ordered and all the pertinent items. Then it comes in and we start assembling, building. We take the bodies are all raw materials, just regular sheets and forms in aluminum. Most of our product is aluminum, and so that's called an extrusion. The aluminum shapes are extrusions. And we start with a subframe, and then we start building it up from there. And that pretty much begins the process. Here is where we have a lot of the process begins from manufacturing the body. We have our flat raw materials that comes in off of a truck, and then if it's to be cut in full sheet, it'll go up on this machine, which is our water jet, and it cuts out the material with water at 60,000 psi, and the shapes and stuff that the engineer has decided it needs to be. This machine here is called a Shears. Its capability is 12 foot of 1/4 inch thick steel, like a pair of scissors, and we put the material in there and blanket into smaller pieces instead of maybe putting it on a water jet. And these racks are filled with what we call off-fall, just drops from the different jobs that we've done. This is a computerized punching system. There's like 40 punch heads in there, and that wheel that will turn by computer, and it will select which punch it's supposed to have, and it'll start punching as this arm moves in and out left and right to punch the particular part. One of the nice things about all this computerized equipment is the fact that if somebody damages something and it can be fixed in the field, then all we have to do is know the part and get the serial number of the body and reproduce the part and ship it to them. And it'll be within 0.02 of an inch. Not unlike if you tore up a door on your car, you wanted to buy a new one, you would expect to be able to pick up the phone and have that new one delivered and bolt right up. This machine bends. It's called a press brake. It bends the material. It's 165 tons of pressure, 16 foot long, and it bends up whatever appropriate thicknesses and lengths that you can get in the machine. So the engineer has to design the pieces and the body around the machines that we have. Behind you is an example of some pieces that were recently bent up. This particular truck is the Burlington Truck. This is the Freightliner chassis that we're building on it. And it's going to become a tanker. This is the body. We have, at this point, we have already manufactured the pieces. We have painted it, and it's now going on the chassis, and we're bolting it down, rushing toward the end of the job. You can see that the panels are all in place. We've got lights going on. This is the rear panel of the body. And what we'll do is, if it's easier to mount it here than it is on the truck, then we'll put the lights on it now. Then as you look up here, you'll see this is where the tank will sit. And inside of here, we have 1/4 inch thick rubber that is fastened to what is called the subframe. This is where the tank will sit inside of these 4 corners, and then it'll get bolted down so that it cannot come out. Of course, at this point, not only has all the body parts been painted, but all the parts that'll be exposed have been undercoated to keep any salt spray from early deterioration of the body. What we have here is a truck going to Buffalo, West Virginia. It's going to be what we call a remount. It goes back to our refurb days, where we're taking the body off of an existing truck they had and putting it on a brand new truck. And this one's got some unique features to it. It's got what we call the road array on the front, which is a revolving light. And then here on the side, we've got a side view camera that lights up on the dash when you turn the right-hand turn signal on, and it gives him a view of the whole right side of the truck, which is pretty handy when you're changing lanes. And then inside, they're pretty plain. It's a whole lot of just painted aluminum, which makes it for a tough product. This is how we'll get the trucks in here. We've started on some of the things here. As I have mentioned before, everything on a truck is an option. And this is how we'll get the chassis in here. We call this a cabin chassis, which is just a bare frame rail, engine, wheels, axles, driveline, and then we build on that from there. Okay, this particular truck is going to Dover, Ohio, also in the New Philadelphia, Ohio area. We've already done a lot of work to it. You'll see we have the bumper on it, and we've made this what we call the front extension It's got room for some hose and some other tools in there. We've finished installing this like yesterday. And we have the headlight buckets out because we're working on the wiring. He likewise has the camera on the right side. Different kind of mirrors. Chrome handles though, for the door. And yes, we have some modifications that we've done inside this cab for storage. They like to store different kinds of equipment, EMS bags and tools and that sort of thing in there. We have here a compartment that goes clear across to the other side of the truck. This particular project is a bit unusual in so much that the body is a used body that we built many years ago. Fire chief found it wrecked and bought it, brought it to us, and we have repaired it now. And he also found what is known as a snozzle used that is an articulating boom. He's having it repaired and overhauled up there, and we're installing what he brings us. Pump is also used. It was supposed to be new, but he found a used one. So this fire chief can squeeze $1 out of a dime. We changed the doors on here from, it had roll-up doors and now it has hinge doors. I often tell people that the only downside to a roll-up door is the fact that it's got more lost storage at the top, but yet when you open this door up into the lane of traffic, now I gotta walk around the door. It's a real safety problem. But that's what they want, that's what we'll give them. These compartments are used to put the air cylinders that they wear on their back for the SCBAs, or what is called self-contained breathing apparatus. They store the cylinders in here in kind of a dead area in the wheel well. Then on the rear, I'm sure everybody has seen the chevrons. This is a National Fire Protection standard now that we have to have chevrons on the back of everything that we build new. So it's a safety thing. They certainly light up at night. We are now in the paint mixing room. This is where the paints of all these different colors, we get the makeup of what the color is supposed to be, and then we pull the paint, whatever amount, out of here. It's measured and mixed, and then we put it in the spray guns over here, and we take it in and spray it. This particular truck was involved in a wreck where the truck was actually turned completely upside down. We've repaired and repainted the hood, and then as you look down the side, the cab had to be replaced because it was too damaged to reuse. And the body had some heavy repairs on the opposite side that we've made, and it's been repainted. So this thing will live again. It was only 3 years old when they wrecked it, so it was very well worth the money to fix. This tank over here is going on the wrecked truck we just looked at. It's painted, ready to be installed. This tank is going on the Burlington truck, which we're building new. Both of them are plastic tanks, which has gotten to be the standard in the industry. It's either plastic or fiberglass. Stainless or metal tanks are just never built anymore and put on trucks. We also do service work on fire trucks here. This is Williamstown, Kentucky's aerial ladder that the cylinder that moves in and out to operate the cables that make the ladder extend and retract developed a hydraulic leak, and so it's in to get that leak fixed. So we had to remove the cylinder. We've sent it out to be repaired, and now we're waiting for it to come back in. Thank you for seeing our video of our facility. We would welcome visitors most any time. We're located up in northern Kentucky, outside of 275 from Jessamine County. I guess we're about an hour and a half, maybe. But the other thing I wanted to mention, that since we're focusing on, say, high school students, if you're looking for a career, I tell you this: working with your hands is not a bad thing to do. We're always looking for good, talented people. It's a very rewarding experience. Think about building fire trucks for a living is quite exciting, and it can be very lucrative. You can make as much money doing this as you can make in getting a college education and finding something in that field. So certainly give us a call.
Thanks for watching. If you would like to see more STEM with Chantel videos, check out this playlist. If you want to know when JCPL puts out more content, click the subscribe button and the notification bell.